What's up, Aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another Dumb Sports Empire. We are back. We are back on sports. We've got a lot of shit I want to talk about. We're gonna do women's Final Four. We're gonna do some baseball. We got some Tiger Woods news. We got a lot of stuff going on. Just to first kind of clean up from last episode. Um, Thank you for everyone that watched, listened to it. Um, Getting people reaching back out to me was really cool. I appreciate you guys for reaching out. Um, Our buddy Joel said he went to the gym after he listened to it. I'm glad I got you hyped up to go back to the gym. When I want to get back into the gym, or if I really need a good pick me up, I'll watch the first episode of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Netflix documentary, I guess, and I think gets me fucking jacked. So, um, I mean, I'm already off topic, but thanks for watching. Thanks for reaching out. I love that stuff. I love talking to people about it. So, I definitely appreciate that. I don't do this podcast for views or fame or anything like that. So just having friends that enjoy it and keep up with it and reach out to me and make it better like that. I really appreciate that stuff. Now, obviously, I would want this to blow up and become a job and a career, but it's never been like about that. It's been about the friends and just saying bullshit and doing dumb things. So I definitely appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone that listened to it. I'm gonna try to keep everything on YouTube and Spotify so we can have video episodes. So I'll try to keep it in that format. I'm recording this on Zoom right now, so and even though it's just me, I'm going to try to keep it watchable on both of them. But we got a lot of sports to get back to. We got men's and women's Final Four. First thing I want to get into is Shohei Ohtani being a dickhead again. This guy can't keep getting out of his own way. So last night, Shohei Ohtani hits his first home run as a Dodger, and the lady that catches it has now come out and said a bunch of shit about what they did to her. They separated her from her husband, Gestapo style. They freaking pressured her into giving the ball back. Now everybody knows, everyone's heard in the past. I think when Aaron Judge was going to hit his 60-second home run ball, everyone's like, if you catch this ball, get out of the stadium, don't give it back, wait, auction it off, whatever. That's like people came out with like instructions on how to do this stuff. So this girl catches a ball, which I've seen estimated up to $500,000. It's pretty good for catching a baseball at a Dodger game. Um, but she catches the ball. Then she said she's separated from her husband, which is wild that she would just be separated. Um, then she's pressured into giving the ball back with very little. So what did they give her? They left Dodger Stadium with two signed bats, a signed bat and a ball, a slight bump after the opening offer of two signed bats. So I guess they lowballed her in the beginning with just signed bats or signed hats, not even bats. They never met Ohtani, despite the two-way superstar claiming through an interpreter that he'd met the fan after the game. Why would he lie if he didn't meet her? Just say he didn't meet her. I ain't got time for that shit. I don't even care about the ball. Whatever. Just he said he'd met her, and he definitely didn't meet her. They only got two signed hats, a bat, and a ball. Could have got $500,000, didn't. But then I also saw that someone tweeted, well, the Athletic tweeted the fan who caught Shohei Ohtani's first Dodger home run ball says LA pressured her into giving up the ball. Amber Roman says security separated her from her husband and made her accept a low ball offer. That's the Athletic, possibly trying to put out clickbait because now there's a screenshot of a tweet. Her name on Twitter is fantastic. So the screenshot says her name is Sugar Tits in like fancy cursive lettering. Sugar Tits Amber 24 with like five R's. She says exactly, I didn't want to be that person. All the items are signed. I'm happy with what I got in return, plus the memory of it all. That sounds like the Gestapo sitting there telling her what to tweet, telling her, pull out your phone. Shohei Ohtani's holding a gun to her head, saying, you're going to tweet that I was nice to you. Because that motherfucker speaks English. She doesn't need an interpreter anymore. Holds a gun to her head, says, tell him you're happy with what I gave you. Give me my ball. Get the fuck out. This guy, man, what a scumbag. First gambling, firing his best friend. Now he's going around teaching this. Man, my blood is boiling. Fuck Shohei Ohtani. Fuck him. You know who else? We're just going to stay on baseball for a little bit because I got a few baseball things. More scumbag behavior. We got the A's owner, John Fisher. John Fisher is such a jackass. I don't think he's the owner of the A's. I don't even think he's interested in owning a baseball team or ever being successful with a baseball team. So the A's players, obviously they have plans to move to Vegas. There's I don't know, a group of fans that are trying to keep them in Oakland. I think they're called the Last Dive Bar. So they came out with this merch and a bunch of money and stuff to try and, I don't know, keep the team, I guess. But so some of the players wear the merch. They're wearing the bracelets, the Last Dive Bar bracelets. Owner obviously gets pissed. They get sent to the minors. I think one guy got cut and a couple of guys got sent to the minors. Some of their best players too. Today they announced that the A's, instead of waiting to just move to Vegas in a couple of years, 2028, so that's 4 years, they're gonna play the next 3 years in Sacramento at a minor league baseball stadium that has a capacity of 14,000 people. Now the A's aren't exactly selling out stadiums, but 14,000 people as your max capacity. What if you went and made a playoff run and people actually wanted to see you? Only 14,000 of those motherfuckers are going to be there. This dude has no interest. I mean, even Vegas, the mayor of Vegas told him that they didn't want him to come. They said, oh, maybe just stay in Oakland. And this guy's still coming. Pause. I don't know. I don't know. He just seems like he doesn't want. This is literally Major League. The plot of Major League was the girl wanted to move the Cleveland Indians to Miami. So she said, you guys are going to suck on purpose so we can move to Miami. Now it seems like this athletics team, who hasn't been good in a while, who doesn't spend money ever, is now really bad in a shitty Oakland Coliseum Stadium. Desperate to get out of there. They're going to go play 3 years in Sacramento. They're going to be the Sacramento A's. I saw something funny that someone said when the Baltimore Orioles play the Sacramento A's, it's going to say ball sack on the TV. So very much looking forward to that. Love a good ball sack on TV. But man, this guy John Fisher is such a jackass. If I was an A's fan, I'd be pissed. I mean, it makes being an Angels fan look decent. Speaking of the fucking Angels, these guys are 4-2. Are we going to go to the World Series? Probably. It's freaking. I was so pissed off after the first two games. I think we lost 14-3 and like 17-3 to the Orioles in Baltimore. And I was like, great, here we go again with this bullshit. Ron Washington was ready to fire his ass after 2 games. Mike Trout hit a home run. But then I heard that one of the players, I don't even know the dude's name, got mad at him for walking lazily to a ground ball or something. And I don't know if they had a players only meeting or the coach had a meeting. After 2 games, I was like, oh shit. Artie Moreno should have sold the team last year. He looked into selling the team and then didn't sell the team. Don't know what the fuck that was about. Should have sold him. And then I saw winning. I experienced a 4-game winning streak for the first time in who knows how long with the Angels. These guys are 4-2, first place in the AL West right now. We're going to win the World Series. It's going to be okay. We don't need Shohei Ohtani because we have Anthony Rendon. Now, let me tell you how much I fucking love Anthony Rendon. Anthony Rendon doesn't have a hit this year. They put him in the leadoff spot. Ron Washington being a fucking genius. Ron Washington is almost the black Joe Biden. Like, I don't know what the fuck this dude's doing. Anthony Rendon in the number one spot. I think he's 0 for 15 this season in what, 6 games? Probably more. 0 for 16 something. So last time Anthony Rendon got a hit, his teammate Nathan Chenul was in college. Since Rendon's last hit, Chenul got drafted, got promoted to single A, double A, then the majors, and has collected 33 big league hits. Rendon, this motherfucker cannot stop. I've never hated someone so much as this guy on my baseball team. I have to stop and say baseball team because I really hated Gunnar Olszewski on the Steelers and Josh Scobie That old Jaguars kicker, he fucked the Steelers up so bad a couple times. Lost us some games. Gunnar Olszewski, same thing. Dumbass special teams plays. But for baseball, it's Anthony Rendon. We gave this dude a 7-year, $245 million contract 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and he hasn't played more than 60 games in a season. So he missed obviously the last few months of last year. I don't think he's had a hit since like July 4th of last year. This fucking guy's unbelievable. He was on a tear with the Nationals in the World Series that one year they won it. We gave him a bag and he fucking blows. But this is just the Angels. We swing and we miss big on big stars. We got lucky with Trout, but Albert Pujols, we gave him a 10-year, $200 million deal. He fell off hard. He had a couple decent seasons with us, but that dude was always hitting like 220, 240. He never touched 300 with us. I think he hit 297 one year. It was not the Albert Pujols that we thought we were getting. Josh Hamilton, get his ass fresh out of rehab. Things are looking good. He fucking relapses. We give him a fucking bag, and he goes on the fucking crank again, whatever the trailer park meth he's been doing. I think he was an alcoholic, actually. He's a fucking jackass, too. Then we give Anthony Rendon a fucking gigantic contract, and this dude can't stay healthy. Comes in the offseason, says he fucking hates baseball. It's just a job for him. Fuck you, dude. Give us our $245 million back. Artie Moreno, sell the team. Dickheads. But we're 4-2 somehow. Mike Trout's hit 3 home runs. Decent start to the season. Swept the Marlins in Miami. I don't even know if they're good. I think they made the playoffs last year, a couple years ago. So sweeping a playoff team, we're gonna take it the best we can get it. The big news of the weekend were the Final Fours. I had a good time watching basketball. This is the first year I've ever really watched the women's basketball tournament. My wife disrespected me. She said I was posting, I think I posted about Caitlin Clark and the viewership on the Iowa LSU game. And she was like, why are you into women's basketball all of a sudden? First of all of a sudden, my ass started a WNBA fantasy league last year, which we watched a couple games, I think, during the year. We know the players. We know some of the players. The fucking game was insane. This game had so much hype. This game had like UFC hype to it. Like everyone knew who Caitlin Clark was. Everyone knew kind of LSU was the defending champions. They had Angel Reese, who's a pretty big star. Van Lith is a pretty big star. She transferred from Louisville to LSU for this year. Just the Iowa LSU. It wasn't even a championship game. It was Elite Eight game, Iowa LSU. Exciting shit. So what this game did, 12.3 million viewers. Last night's Iowa LSU game had more viewers than any women's college basketball game ever. Easy. That probably wasn't that hard. Listen to this. The 2023 NBA Finals, insane. The 2023 World Series, baseball's falling off. The 2023 Orange Bowl, that's fucking bonkers. The 2023 Big Ten Championship, 2023 Cotton Bowl, 2023 Pac-12 Championship, Big 12 Championship, ACC Championship, the Peach Bowl, Thursday Night Football, and every 2023 college football regular season game except Ohio State versus Michigan. The game, the biggest game of the year in college football. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese went at it. Iowa dominated towards the end. I think Caitlin Clark had 41 points. Shit was insane, dude. You guys know I hate Iowa. I love Caitlin Clark so much, and I didn't always like Caitlin Clark. I thought she was a bitch because that Ohio State fan stormed the court against them, and she kind of ran into the fan, and then she like played victim and everything. I was like, whatever, Caitlin's a bitch. She's just a superstar. But this run she's been on has been incredible, and I've been a gigantic fan. Now, on the flip side of that, after that game, USC played UConn. UConn, the best program in the country. Though Gino Ariema's got 11 Final Fours, like 6 or 7 national titles. They're the best women's program. Maybe not the past couple of years because South Carolina's been good, but ever. He's the best coach ever. I think they're the best program ever in women. So Paige Beckers goes off against us. Juju. I think she played okay. She scored more points towards the end, but it was it was this fucking Asian girl. And I was texting the boys about it during the game. I was like, this fucking Asian girl cannot hit a shot to save her life. And Chris was like, she's definitely not Asian because her last name was Padilla. And so we went and looked her up. I was like, she could be Filipino because a lot of Filipinos have Spanish last names because Spain conquered the Philippines. Sure enough, look her up. She's Filipino. She started 0 for 6, could not hit a goddamn shot. She nailed the three eventually. That was the only shot she made all game. I think she was 1 for 8. Killed us. You can't miss shots against a good UConn team. Against a coach that's been there, done that. Paige Beckers is a star. I think we get LSU and UConn this weekend, and South Carolina versus NC State, which NC State's got a Cinderella story in both men's and women's Final Fours. Good shit there. But I'm very excited for possibly Iowa and South Carolina or UConn, South Carolina. I've got South Carolina winning my bracket. Yes, we made women's March Madness brackets because we love the game, just for the love of the game. And women's college basketball is the best it's ever been. It's been fantastic. I'm not even trying to like dick ride to like be a lib or anything like that or be like pro women or anything like that. But the women's basketball is exciting. You know, maybe not the WNBA as much, but this March Madness run has been fantastic by the women. So shout out to Caitlin Clark, shout out to Angel Reese, shout out to Juju Watkins. USC is gonna be loaded next year. Juju Watkins is a freshman. She was second leading scorer in the country behind Caitlin Clark. Paige Beckers is coming back, so UConn's gonna be tough again, but South Carolina will be tough. Iowa's not gonna be the same without Caitlin Clark. Which also, news alert, gigantic. Caitlin Clark got offered a $5 million contract by Ice Cube to play in the Big Three. $5 million contract. I think the average WNBA contract is $96,000. I think the top end players make over $400,000. So if she were to go to the Big Three, if it's a $5 million a year contract to go to the Big Three, she'd be making a career's worth of earnings in the Big Three. Who cares if you suck at that point? You just got to go out and try your best. I go make $5 million. Hell yeah. She's probably making good money in Iowa too. Just being a gigantic star in Iowa. And she's the most known player in men's or women's basketball, probably. I've heard people say that. Iowa, South Carolina is going to be a sick, sick natty. UConn would be too with South Carolina. I don't think NC State really has a chance because South Carolina is undefeated this year. I picked them to win my bracket, so I definitely need them to win. But on to the men's Final Four. We have UConn, who has been an unstoppable fuck train, possibly men's and women's titles. I think they did it one year. It was like 2007 or 2008. UConn won both the men's and the women's. So they have a very real opportunity to do it again. UConn's covering every spread. I think their closest game they played in the last two tournaments I heard was them winning by 13 points in last year's Final Four. They are steamrolling everybody. They cover every spread. They beat the shit out of everybody. It's wild. Like I haven't even watched any. I've watched maybe one of their games so far in the tournament because I just know they're going to dominate. Then you got NC State, who is very likable. Is UConn playing NC State? Yeah, I think they're playing NC State. NC State very likable. DJ Burns, the big man. I love this guy. He talks shit to fans. It's the end of the Duke game, and he's sitting there like, "Y'all season is over." I want that guy to win a natty so bad, and I want him to go to the NBA. I almost said WNBA. I want him to go to the NBA so bad. People tell him to play football. Like he's 6'9", 340 pounds or whatever, but you don't need to go play football when you're good at basketball. Just go play basketball. Go be Glenn Big Baby Davis, just a big ass dude in the NBA. He needs to be a little taller. I wish he was taller. He could be just a power forward, just double power. I love that guy. And then you got who's on the other side? Purdue and fuck, I don't even know. How do I know more about the women's than the men's? Who else made the goddamn Final Four? Alabama. Are they even playing each other? I think Alabama's playing UConn. I messed this whole thing up. I definitely know more about the women's than the men's. NC State's playing Purdue and Alabama's playing UConn. I got that whole thing wrong. Okay, so we have Alabama, who Alabama 1 year fresh off of the murder case of one of their star players. Was it a murder case? I think he just supplied the gun to someone that murdered someone, which may or may not be illegal. I don't know. But Bama's in the Final Four. They're going to get fucking steamrolled by UConn. Purdue's in there. Now, I obviously don't watch any regular season basketball. I start watching college basketball when the conference tournaments are going on, and it gets really interesting. Time to see like who's good and who's gonna make a run in the tournament. So I knew Zach Edey was big. I didn't know he was fucking 7'4". He towers over everyone on the court. He is gigantic, and he plays really well for his size. Look at some of these really tall guys are just too skinny. Like Wemby plays well for how tall and skinny he is, but you look at a tall, skinny guy, they just fucking suck. But this guy bullies people. Zach Edey is fun to watch. Everyone complains about him getting foul calls too much, and everything like that. He can't control that. He just got to go out and play hard. So I think Purdue beats NC State, ends their Cinderella. Then they got to go play UConn. I mean, I picked Houston to win, so I'm kind of out, but I've got UConn in the Natty, so I need them to win this one for my bracket. I don't see anybody stopping UConn. UConn's a fucking unstoppable force right now, and there are no immovable objects besides DJ Burns' fat ass. I didn't mean that. I love the guy. What else do we got? Bronny transferred out of USC. Fuck that kid. If he's an attention whore like his dad, he's going to go to Duke or somewhere that's just really freaking annoying. Last thing I wanted to talk about, we got a quickie tonight. There's not a ton going on, but um, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is figuring out bro science. So what did Tiger Woods do? Oh, where's the screenshot of it? I had a screenshot. Let me pull this up so I can read exactly what it is. Log into Twitter. Hurry up. Tiger Woods. A friend of Tiger Woods says Woods has eliminated sex to avoid distractions ahead of the Masters. This dude figured out bro science. Now I tweeted, bro science is the best. I used to not jerk off for 2 days before football games to make myself more aggressive. And then my buddy Adam, shout out Adam, this dude came out and told me in softball, I used to not jerk off too, and I would hit home runs. Now I have a softball game tomorrow, so I need to not jerk off tonight so I can go hit a fucking dinger tomorrow. But Tiger Woods is figuring out bro science. Like you make yourself, like you think you give yourself more testosterone by not jerking off. Well, my case, not jerking off. His case, having sex, because we all know Tiger just fucking slays pussy. Good for you, Tiger. I think it's just a story that he leaked to. This is my take. This is just a story that he leaked to get out in the world that he just still has sex. That he's just still out there being a fucking just a sex panther out there. I don't know what I was gonna say there, so I just threw out Sex Panther. But this is just a Tiger Woods fake story just to get out there, just to say this dude fucks. He's been fucking. He didn't stop fucking. He just spreads his wild oats out there. Oh man. I just remembered something I wanted to say at the beginning of the podcast, so this is just going to be completely out of chronological order. But shout out to my boy Willie. Willie, I love you. Sometimes we fight, but we only fight with the people that we love, but we always come back. I'm sorry I didn't shout you out on the weight loss podcast. We did do a running challenge together, the March Hundo. I wanted to run 100 miles with a couple of buddies in March. Also, shout out to Gerardo. We've been running after the March Hundo. So, Gerardo, I love you, buddy. And we're both trying to break 230 right now. But Willie took on the challenge with a blown out knee, trying to get 100 miles. I think he got up to 35 or 36, which on a busted knee is fucking awesome. So, Willie, you're great. I'm sorry I didn't shout you out in the last one. Hal, you're just here. I'm just kidding. Hal encourages me too. And also, I want to shout someone else out too. Shit, I forgot. But March Hundo, I got 130.2 miles in 31 days. I skipped 2 days. So pretty much in 29 days, I did 130 miles. I'm gonna try to do it again in April. I've gotten three runs in what's it called? 3 days. I'm not gonna run tonight. I'm podcasting. Tonight is for the boys. I think Willie got 35 something miles and Gerardo got, let's see the leaderboard here. I'm gonna pull this bad boy up. Gerardo got sick too, which kind of sucks, but Gerardo got 30 something miles. So shout out to the boys. We're running, we're getting out there, turning ourselves into hot sex machines. Shout out Willie, shout out Gerardo, shout out Hal. Dan, I love that we smoke meat together. One day we should get together and smoke each other's meat. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for listening. Love always. Tell your friends. Iowa fucking sucks except for Kate and Clark.